All right, everyone, welcome back to Rhythm and Roads, Las Vegas. I'm your host, Joshua Jacob. On today's show, we have a very special guest, singer and musician Chris Morgan of Las Vegas. Welcome on the show.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm happy to be here.
Yeah, looking forward to hearing your story, and thanks for accepting my invitation to come on the show. And it was a pleasure meeting you in person already. So, yeah,
It was.
yeah, it
Likewise.
was. It was really fun just hanging out, and it was cool. So, but let's get to the journey of Chris Morgan. So, Las Vegas has seen you perform, they've heard the music, but what's the foundation of Chris Morgan and where it all started? The desire to want to sing at a young age when you discovered yourself. So you want to start there.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm originally from Georgia. So I'm from
Oh,
the
cool.
South.
All right.
I grew up there, lived there for 22 years.
Whoa.
Um,
Okay.
I know it was a long time. And then I've only been here about 4.5 years. So
Okay.
I'm still relatively new to the scene.
Yeah.
But yeah, when I was a kid, I was always singing and music was always around me. And it was actually my grandmother who approached me one day and she was like, "Do you want to play an instrument of any kind?" And I was like, "I don't know." I was probably maybe like 6 years old. So I didn't really know much about anything yet. And I was like, the only thing that really interests me is the keyboard. And I specifically remember calling it a keyboard because then she put me into piano lessons. And when
Okay.
I went in for piano lessons, I was like, no, I don't want to play the piano. I want to play the keyboard. And my teacher,
Yeah.
she's like, that's the same thing. It's just one plugs in the wall and the other one
Yeah.
is
The
made
other
of
one.
wood. So
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, fine, I'll take it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so anyway, I started playing out of one of these books and I think it was maybe my sixth lesson or so. One of the songs, I don't even remember at this point what it was, but it had words attached to it. So it was a sing along song. And my teacher, she's like, well, just try singing it as you go. And we'll see what happens. I know you're not here for voice lessons, but we can just see what happens. So I started singing it, and she just kind of looked at me like, whoa, there's something there. And she was a voice teacher as well. Her name is Daniela Opravilova. She's
Oh,
from the Czech
wow.
Republic. I know.
Oh,
Um,
jeez.
and she was like approached my grandmother who kept taking me to my lessons. She's like, we need to get him into official voice lessons as well because this could be something. And so
Cool.
after we got started in the piano lessons, eventually that shifted into half piano, half voice lessons. So I was trained as a classical soprano when I was young. So I sang a lot of like operatic repertoire in the stratosphere when I was a kid. I mean, when I was a kid, my voice was a lot higher anyway, so I would just
Yeah.
do that naturally. But yeah, I was classically trained, and she would have these they were called extravaganzas. So it was a performance once a month, every Friday night for all of her students. And it was in her local church. So we would perform for all the students. Everybody would get to do about 4 or 5 songs. And it was a fun time that we did once a month, every Friday, a Friday every month. And there were usually different themes that would go along with them. So obviously around Christmas time, it was Christmas songs.
Yeah.
Or one time it was like just songs that make you happy or whatever it would be. And so that's what really set off my journey was my grandmother getting me into those lessons. And then as a kid, I would also do a lot of musical theater, as a lot of us in this business have done. And I even went to college for musical theater.
Oh, you did.
And I
Wow.
did. However, I only went one year. And so
Oh, you did.
I dropped out after my first year and for multiple reasons, to be honest. The main reason was being that if I did want to go towards that route with my life, I realized I didn't necessarily need a degree to do it. Um, and I mean, I already had, for the most part, a pretty good foundation from all my voice lessons and piano and whatever that
Okay.
I felt like I was kind of just throwing money away and going to college for something that I was already relatively good at. It was more so like learning audition tactics and what people and auditors wanted to hear and whatever. So that I feel like I could do have done on my own, like on YouTube or whatever. We call it YouTube University now.
Oh, yeah, for
So
sure.
anyway, so yeah, I left after one year. I also realized while I was in college that if I were to go the musical theater route, that I would live my life in constant competition with other people. And that wasn't necessarily something that I wanted to do. I just loved music and performing and whatever aspect that was. And so I just wanted to share what I had with other people without feeling like I had to fight my way with other people as well. So that was the main reason that I left too. And yeah, then as far as it came to getting here to Vegas and starting my career here, I actually had a friend from high school who got stationed in the Air Force here. And so there was one summer that I came to visit her for a week. I'd never been to Vegas. It was my first time.
Oh, wow.
And I was 22. Yeah, I was 22 years old. And I came to visit her. I kind of just fell in love with it. She showed me all the hot spots and everything. And then I go back to Georgia, my little small town of Rome, Georgia. And I texted her immediately and I was like, hey, I kind of hate it here. I'm not gonna lie. I'm like, there's nothing really going on for me.
Wow.
I feel like the black sheep in this town, and I kind of really want to get out. What
Yeah.
would you think about me moving out there with you? And she immediately got back to me and was like, I would love that. She was like, I really don't have a ton of friends out here anyway, other than my military friends. And so having somebody in my corner out here would be amazing for me as well. And I'd love to be a part of getting your start out here. So, long story short, I then packed up everything I owned, which wasn't a lot at the time, uh, and I shoved it all in my car and I drove all the way across the country. Um, it
Wow.
was the day after Christmas, so it was December 26th. And I booked it because I wanted to get here before New Year's.
Oh, okay.
And so it was a complete straight shot. One of my good friends, she actually rode with me, so I had a riding buddy.
Oh,
Um,
that's cool.
and then she eventually flew back and she just was out here for a few days. But yeah, I a straight shot. The only time we stopped was to either use the bathroom or we stopped at a Dollar General parking lot for I think it was an hour max just to get a little power nap, and then we kept going. It was like a 36-hour drive,
Oh,
and it was rough. I'm not
yeah.
gonna lie. I
Heck
wouldn't
yeah.
recommend that to anybody. But maybe if you made stops along the way, it would be nicer. But yeah, doing a straight shot, absolutely not.
No, please
So
don't. Yeah, rest.
exactly.
Oh
Yes.
God.
So like I said, I was on a mission. I'm like, I'm ready to get
Yeah,
out of
you
here.
were on
So
a mission.
let's
Holy
book
crap,
it.
bro.
Yeah. So
New
yes, make it
Year's
all the
Eve,
way
here we
here.
come.
hmm Made it all the way here. Um, enjoyed some of my first days. Not really doing much. Just enjoying being in a new city, starting a new life, whatever. And when I moved here, I didn't have a job. I didn't have a ton of money either from my previous job. So I was just kind of going on fumes. I was living in her living room. I didn't even have a bedroom. So I was willing to make this work in whatever way that I could.
Wow.
So when I moved here, the only thing that I could do immediately, at least, was DoorDash. So I just DoorDashed as much as I could just to start getting some money flowing and stuff. And that was kind of a blessing in disguise because that helped me learn the city.
Oh, that's
Because
true.
I'm
Yeah.
driving all around
Right.
and like what neighborhoods I liked and getting to see where people would hang out and whatever. So I like noted life hack that if you want to learn the cities, just DoorDash it and you get paid to do it. So
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah.
yeah, it was really cool. Um, but then my first job I got here, I actually worked at a coffee shop. So I started as a barista.
Oh,
That
cool.
seems to be like one of the natural pipelines for musicians. Like we all like start as a barista somewhere. We're like struggling musicians wanting to make it work, whether it's a barista, a server,
Yeah.
whatever, something in the service industry. And so I did baristing for about a year. Um, and then I went to a karaoke night at an Irish pub called Crown and Anchor, which is no longer there. There's one location that is, but there's one that I went to that is no longer a thing. But
Oh,
anyway, I was at a karaoke night there, and I think I was singing all by myself, the Celine Dion version.
Oh,
I
that's
was
so
going
fun.
all out. So after I finished, this woman approached me, who's just in the audience, and she was like, "Oh my gosh, you are amazing. Are you doing anything professionally, singing around town, whatever?"
Yeah.
I said, "Well, I'm trying to, but unfortunately, a lot of the game is who you know rather than what you know." And so, because I didn't know anybody in the music industry, at least out here, um, but her name was Cassie Stone. I don't know if you know who she is or not. She's a phenomenal artist around town. Um, she performs with Frankie Perez and she does a lot of her own things and she's incredible. But anyway, she approached me and she was like, "Well, I may have an opportunity for you. I work at this place called Don't Tell Mama. It's a piano bar downtown on Fremont and we have singing bartenders." I was like, "Well, I'm not a bartender at all." So I said, "I can make you a cappuccino. I cannot make you a vodka creme."
Yeah.
So she was like, "That's totally fine. We can train you. Would that even be something you're interested in?" I was like, "Of course." And that could be like my first performing gig out here in Vegas.
Yeah.
So anyway, we swapped contact information. And then she invited me out on a Saturday night where she was working, a couple others, and it was Kenny Davidson on the keys that was singing there that night. And she was like, "He's one of the best people in this city to know as far as breaking out into the performance scene goes." And I was like, "Okay, I'll come out." And so me and my friend, we went out that night. And I have a video somewhere of that night. But I remember the first song that I sang there was "I Have Nothing" by Whitney Houston. And I just know that like when I signed up to go sing it with Kenny, because he asked me, I vividly remember he asked me, he's like, "In the original key?" I'm like, "Yeah, let's whatever." And I just know that he was in his head like, "Okay, this little white boy coming in here trying to sing some Whitney Houston. Like,
Oh
we'll
my
see how this
God.
goes." And
Yeah.
then I started singing, and I have it on video somewhere. I could find it, but it's me and Kenny, and he's like, "Whoa!" like behind the keys as I'm singing this Whitney Houston song. Um, and then like it was such a good night and that performance went so well, and then it was just kind of like everything fell into place after that.
Wow.
So I go back, I sit down, and the owners who were there, they approached me and they were like, "Hey, do you want to work here?" They were like, "Cassie's kind of vouching for you and saying that you were an incredible performer. And after that, we definitely want you to work here." I was like, "I would love to." I told them I don't have any bartending experience. They're like,
Yeah.
"Don't worry about it. We'll train you." Um, and so, long story short, I then started at Don't Tell Mama Piano Bar. And that was my first official performing gig here in Vegas.
Oh man.
Um, and I started getting a regular schedule. I started to perform 3 nights a week. Um, and then I met a lot of people through that job. So, like I said, a lot of the game is who you know. And since Kenny, who played there regularly, he is kind of the person to know in this town as far as a performer goes. People would come there for him. And
Oh,
so
okay.
when they were coming there for him and like to whether it was to just to sing with him or practice or whatever it should be, um, then I would get to meet all of these people that were
Yeah.
coming out. And then
Yeah.
these people eventually became my friends as well. And so it was just kind of a big domino effect, one thing after the other. And it's so funny to think about how if I had never gone to that one karaoke night that one night, that none of this would have happened.
That's
And
true.
so
Very true.
it was a really cool thing with Don't Tell Mama. And then the owners, they found out that I also played piano. I think that somebody somewhere was just like Instagram stalking me, and I had a video somewhere of me playing, and they were like, "Oh my gosh, Chris plays piano too." And so there was one night that one of our pianists, he was going to be late, like an hour late. And I was working as a bartender that night. And my owners asked me, they're like, "Do you think that maybe you could just fill in for the first hour while people are here until he gets here?" I'm
Yeah.
like, I mean, I could try it. I've never done something like to that before. And so anyway, I ended up playing that first hour, and it went kind of perfectly. And then that started to become more of a regular thing. This guy that was playing piano, his regular gig ended an hour after we opened. So
Oh man.
it was like every Friday night I was playing that first hour, and so I was getting
Wow.
more and more
Okay.
practice and getting my name out there and just singing more, which is great.
Well, yeah,
Um,
it's really good, man.
and then uh, eventually, one of our other pianists, um, he had had a family emergency come up the day of uh, he was supposed to play piano,
Okay.
and our owners they called like all of our other pianists and nobody was available, and so kind of as a last ditch effort they asked me, they're like, do you think you can play the whole night? And at this point I've already worked there for well over 2 years, so
Oh,
like
you did? Okay.
I kind of knew how um the nights ran, like as
Yeah.
far as the flow goes, what the people like to hear. And so I'm like, I can try it. I can't promise it'll be great, but so ended up playing that night, and it went incredibly. Like my owners loved me, the crowd loved me, the bartenders loved
Wow.
singing with me. It was such a fun time,
Yeah.
and then after the night was over, the owners approached me. They're like, "That went so well. They're like, would you want to do this regularly? We'll give you a regular piano shift once a week if you want to do it." And I'm like, "I'm down. The more performing I can get, the more I'll take it."
That's
Um,
awesome, dude. Congrats on that.
Thanks. Yeah, it was really cool. And so, and then eventually that shifted into me playing 2 times a week. And it's like I said, everything just like kept falling and falling and falling, and just like everything just landing in my lap. And
Well, and that's a
it
good thing.
exactly, I know. It was just such a fun part of my life. Um, and I will be forever grateful for that opportunity, and don't tell mama and everything about it. We have since, I assume you know, we have since closed our doors. We closed our doors officially on Valentine's Day of this year.
Oh,
Um,
really?
I
Wow.
know it was yeah, it wasn't too long ago, and yeah, so it was a sad thing to see go, but we've got some more opportunities happening right now, which is great and everything. So yeah,
Speaking
but
of
that
that,
was
oh
yes.
no, no, I was gonna say like that's wow, what an incredible journey, man. And what I love is you took the risk, right? On the day after Christmas, you were just like, I'm gonna just put my stuff of what I have in the car, go
Mhm.
36 hours. Of course, you stopped and rest, which was important.
Barely, but yes.
Yes, but it just that's what sometimes it takes is to if you're not if you've seen things are not working out in that town, the hometown you were in, and then you were kind of like up against certain things, you were just like, well, if this is not working, that's not working. I don't feel like I'm really needed here. You got to get up and just start a new chapter, bro, somewhere else. Just if you can,
Exactly.
of course, if
Yeah,
you can, and opportunities there, do it, bro. I mean, look where you're at now.
I know. Because yeah, back when I was in Georgia, I was working in a an R&D lab in a food company's production line. So it was just a completely night and day thing,
Wow.
from what I'm doing now, because it's a company that my dad works for, that he's like
Okay.
the main mechanic for, and they just had a summer program for like the employees' children, and so that was technically my first job ever.
Yeah.
And so yeah, I was just doing that and nothing related to music at all. I mean, I would go to
Wow.
occasional karaoke nights here and there, but nothing professionally. I wasn't getting paid for anything.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it was definitely, I felt like I was stuck in a bit of a black hole there. I'm like, I don't feel like my life is going anywhere. I love my family and everything and my friends, and that was hard,
Oh, I
hard,
bet it
hard
was
to
hard.
leave.
Yeah.
Um, but I still, oh my gosh, the other day, my mom, she just randomly sends me just pictures from her camera roll. I guess it brings up memories or something. And there was one that she sent me the day I left that she took of me and my dad hugging, both of us bawling our
Oh
eyes out. I'm like,
man.
why would you do this to me right now? I'm at work and I'm about to cry my
Oh
eyes out.
my God, man.
And so yeah, it was definitely hard to leave, but I felt like I had bigger ambitions than what that place at least could have
Of
provided me.
course, yeah.
So
And that's the
so
hardest, of
yeah.
course, leaving your family and close friends and
Mhm,
but your life, you're not living your life for them. You're living your
mhm.
life to take care of what you got to take care of on your dream and your purpose and your goals. So yeah.
Exactly.
And thankfully, yes, your parents are there supporting you, of course, and they're a very important highlight of your life. But yeah,
Yes.
they're gonna definitely want you to leave if that's what's needed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was definitely hard on all of us.
Yeah.
They're like, because I'm baby boy, so they
That's funny.
it was hard for them. But yes, they're extremely supportive in every single way possible.
That's awesome.
So yeah, I love them to death, and I owe everything to them. So
Very
yeah.
cool. So now we have the show coming up June 20th with Christy Lynn, right?
Hmm.
So we want to share
Sure
about that
do.
because I know you're part of that.
Absolutely, yeah. So, so yes, at Composer's Room, June 20th, my good friend, Christy Lynn, she's having her own first headlining show here in
Wow,
Vegas.
very cool.
And yes, I'm going to be a part of that. I will be doing a couple solos. So I'll be doing one country song and one rock song
Oh,
because her
cool. All
theme
right.
is a little bit country, a little bit rock and roll.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, and we will also be doing together a little original of hers. So I'll be playing the keys for that, and she'll be singing and some harmonies and stuff for me as well, because she has her whole original first album too. And I don't know
Yeah.
if a lot of people know that about her.
Oh,
So
I
she's
I
like, I
definitely
would,
know that. I have a
yeah,
copy.
exactly.
It's
Yeah.
actually really good.
So
Yeah.
it is. I agree. So yeah, she's like, I'd love to put one of these songs in there, and she sent me this specific one, and she's like, I don't have any sheet music or anything for it. Do you think you could be able to learn it? And so I listened to it over and over again, just trying to pick it out with my ears. And
Yeah.
so eventually I got it and I wrote it down. And so yeah, we'll be doing a little thing together there. And so yeah, that's going to be an exciting thing on June 20th. So
Yeah.
yeah.
I'm excited for you both and on that and a lot more news to come.
Oh
Uh
yes.
but yeah, that's exciting. I'm really happy for her to have her first headline show there at the Composer's Room and then you being the
Hmm.
guest as well with others. Yeah. Well, before we close on this episode, how can the viewers stay updated on your journey with your Instagram and website or whatever you have on the links?
Yes. So currently, all of my, for the most part, all of my usernames and stuff are all the same. It's just Chris Morgan
Okay.
for almost all of them. I think my TikTok is just dot Chris Morgan, but it's still the same thing. It'll still show up.
Okay.
But yeah, I post on social media all the time and all of that stuff. And also, currently, if you guys want to see me in person, I do work at a relatively new spot downtown called Cheap Shot. So,
Oh, cool. Nice.
yes, as I mentioned, Don't Tell Mama closed on Valentine's Day,
Right.
but that left a lot of us in the performance scene without a job because that was our regular spot we were performing at.
Yeah.
And so us staff members kind of got together with this one guy specifically headlining all of this stuff named Michael Spadoni. He's one of our pianists. Um, we got together and we're like, this is too good of a concept to let just die. And so we kind of just picked up the staff from Don't Tell Mama and we placed it into this new spot called Cheap Shot,
Wow.
where it's the same thing. It's the open mic for guests, so anybody that comes in can sing with a live pianist. It's the singing bartenders, like the professional singers. We go up throughout the night and we do some tunes and everything.
That's cool.
Um,
Wow.
yeah, it's a fun time. We are open Thursday through Monday, and we open at 5 o'clock, 5 p.m. every single day. So we get a bit of the dinner rush if you guys
Right,
are
right,
waiting
of course.
on like a restaurant reservation or something and want to drink beforehand or you want something to do after you ate. It's a perfect spot for that. It's a nice, elegant spot, but we keep it fun and light as well. So it's definitely this has been good to us.
That's cool, man.
We're still working on all the things because like I said, it's kind of new.
Right.
So we got to figure out just the perfect recipe to make everything work. But yeah, currently that's where you can find me at least regularly. So
All right, cool. And also your
yeah,
show, the June 20th of Christy Lynn's show, for
yes,
that special event. So that's awesome. Yeah. Well, I
absolutely.
gotta say, Chris Morgan, thank you for sharing your journey from the foundation of where it all started. That's, you're the voice, the light, a beacon of hope for other artists of sharing, hey, I went through it, I've been there. It's not easy, but once you get established and you get going, opportunities of will open up, and
In
so thank you.
in every way,
Yeah,
yes,
so thank you for sharing your story on that journey. Yeah. And for those,
absolutely.
yeah, for the viewers, if you'd like to come on and share your story, my Instagram is Joshua Jacob Official. Feel free to send me a message. I love for you to connect with me, and we can schedule you to come on sometime this summer and share your testimony, your story as well.
Yes,
Well,
guys, he's great.
well, thanks, man. Yeah. Well, Chris Morgan, I look forward to seeing the show on June 20th, and so yeah, and then it was great meeting you in person as well.
Likewise.
It was a good time, so it was fun.
Yeah, well, thank you for this. This has been so much fun.
Yeah, no problem. So it's an honor and pleasure to be doing this as well. Well, guys, this
Likewise.
is Joshua Jacob with Rhythm and Roads, Las Vegas. Thank you for watching. Thank you, Chris Morgan.